Barney here. Welcome to our All Things Possible TV episode. And this episode is a simple healing method that you can do yourself. That's what it's all about. And I've learned so many modalities over the years, studied them for years, practiced them, and get better and better. And recently come across this one that is very, very simple to use. Anyone can do it. And so I just want to quickly share that with you. This is going to be a short one today. It's so simple. So I learned this from a book that I downloaded on audio. I'm going to hold this up here. It's called The Healing Code. Oh, my phone blanked out. There we go. The Healing Code by Alexander Lloyd. So go ahead and download it as an audio book. Order it on Amazon, whatever you want. There's so much more that I'm going to show you today. But this is one simple method that absolutely I have seen it create miracles, and it's so simple. It just creates miracles in people's lives. And I want to share it with you. I want this information out there for everybody to enjoy this. And I do encourage you to get the book because there's a lot more than what I'm going to show you today. Very valuable. It will change your life. So, before we get into that, first I want to invite you to go to our website. Caption guys right on the spot. Go to our website, www.allthingspossible.biz, and if you click on that and sign up to join our join our email and receive a free gift, and the free gift we have for you is 7 traits to create all things possible in your life. This is a video series that will be sent to you once a week for, guess what, 7 weeks, right? And it is amazing. This is our free gift to you. There's a lot of good information in there, and it can absolutely change your life if you'll apply these principles and these traits to your life. This is something that my bride, Kris, has put together that just has some amazing information and valuable insights in that. So, enough about that. Go ahead and you can click right there and go to that website. Now to get right into this healing method it's called the Healing Codes. This is just one part of it. Again, I want to give you a simple part. When you have something, a memory that is painful to you, maybe it's a breakup of a relationship, it might be the death of a loved one, it could be an abusive situation, something that was very traumatic in your life, okay? We store our memories as images, and sometimes we just think about them, but in order for this process to work, I want you to go back to that moment and find an image. Let's just say it was the death of a grandparent. Okay, most people have had that situation at one time in their life, and if that was a painful thing for you, or find whatever memory you want to work on. Is it something very, very traumatic? Is it an accident or something that just totally frightened you? Or it can be any memory, anything going on in life that has an emotional charge to it. So when you think about that, think about this image. And so is it the death of a grandparent? And what is that image there? Is it when you saw them in the viewing? Were you there when they died? Is it some memory you have of them that is associated with this pain? And then rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. This is just so you can gauge how well you're doing and how effective the healing is for you. Okay? So find that image and totally look at that picture, close your eyes, think about it. And you don't have to be super precise, but just give yourself a number, 1 to 10, how bad does this hurt? And just notice what that is, okay? Couple of other rules. This is so simple. It's a 6-minute process. One, you want to go to your divine creator, your source, whatever that is, and ask for blessings and help in healing this part of your life. So start with prayer. Whatever that looks like to you, start with that prayer. And the next thing is remember to take deep, full breaths. What happens almost automatically is we're recalling something that is painful, and there's a lot of emotional energy with it. We end up going into the fight or flight mode. The sympathetic nervous system kicks in, and what happens is we start breathing shallow, okay, because we want to get a lot of oxygen pumped up in those lungs. And so make sure that you're breathing through your bellies, coming in and out on your belly. Make sure that you keep a full, calm breath the whole time. that you're doing this process. It's a good thing to do that throughout the day. Just develop that habit. It's amazing how many people have developed the habit of being chest breathers, and those are the ones that have anxiety and stress and so many health problems. And just that full deep breath is an amazing health tip in and of itself. It's essential as you're doing this part. There's 4 parts on the head that we are going to be pointing our fingers at, okay? It sounds crazy. Try it. You'll see miracles in your life. First one is right between the eyebrows, okay? You'll just point your fingers at that. Well, I'll show you how to do that. The next one is, if you're a man, you have an Adam's apple. If you're a woman, it's just right above your thymus, or your thyroid. Okay, I'm just going to leave that. I'm not even going to edit that out. Right above your thyroid. Thymus here, pituitary here, thyroid. Okay, right above your thyroid. All right, and that'll be the one point. The other point will be right here. If you think of the jaw joint and come back about 1/2 inch, you end up in front of your earlobe. So you'll want to point at that point. And the fourth and final point is, if you go to the center of your temple, come back 1/2 inch and up 1/2 inch, that's about where you want to be. This doesn't have to be precise. Your intention is those are the points you want to point at. Next thing you want to do is hold this position with your fingers. They can be all together. They can be out like this. But your intention is that you want, if you imagined a jet of water coming out of each of your fingertips, that they would all hit the same point right out about here. Okay, so just whatever that is. And then you'll hold them about 3 inches away from your body. And that's all there is to it. So that position. And you should spend about 6 minutes on the 4 points, not 6 minutes on each one, 6 minutes total. You don't need to watch a clock the whole time. What I've found and what I like to do is I try to average about 1 minute on each point here. So I point at here's the one position, okay? Looks like this. The other position down at the throat looks like this. And then of course pointing at the jaw joint, or right in front of the earlobe, looks about like this. And you know what? See that? They're not even the same, and it's okay. It's your intention that matters. And then the other one, the last position, is up at the temples, and it looks like that. Okay? So I like to spend 60 seconds on each one, and then when I'm done, I like to spend about 30 seconds. And again, just guess. Look at the clock when you're done and see if you only spent 3 minutes, you need to extend your time out, okay? You can do it much longer than 6 minutes, and that's fine. You can do this, I would suggest, and they suggest in the book, 3 times a day. Do it more if you want more healing. But notice, if you rate a memory, and there's a lot of the death or the loss of someone or whatever that traumatic incident is for you, if you rate it at an 8, then what you do, keep your breathing, begin with prayer, obviously, and keep your breathing, and just notice that image, and notice what you notice about it, okay? You don't have to do anything, you don't have to force anything to happen, but just notice what happens. And I've seen a variety of different things happen, so some of the things you might expect. I think the most common thing is that the image, where it may be seen very bright and vivid in a lot of details, the image may just kind of fade out. It may go to black and white. It may just fade out. You may get halfway through and realize that you're thinking about something totally different. If that happens, it's actually a good sign. It means that you don't have the intensity there. Gently bring yourself back to the image. Focus on that and just notice what you notice about that image. Eyes closed. Notice what you notice. Another thing that will happen is the picture may change. Some of the things may change shape or size. It may even actually start to play as a little mini movie. And you may have some dialogue. Things may be said that are different and more healing. It's like you change your memories. I've seen that happen. I've seen people go in and realize that what they thought was going on in this image was something totally different, that they realized that what was their primary feeling was actually something different. So they see things from a different perspective. But what I do know, what's very common, and what they all have in common, is that when you get done with that, bring up this image again without holding your hands. Bring up the image again to your brain, to your mind, and notice the level of intensity. How do you feel about it? Almost all the time, your number will come down. If it's a very, very recent thing, if somebody passed within the last weeks or months, it may take a lot more work. If it's an older memory, the energy of that comes down, and you want to keep doing that. Just notice where it is. If you get it down from an 8 to a 3, you can turn around and do another one, or wait for later in the day or the next day. And it's effective if you only do it once a day. For many memories, especially the older ones, I find that I only need to do one round on each one of these incidents. So if I find something that, you know, some old memory from the past, and it doesn't have to be a big traumatic thing, but when I think of it, I go, ooh, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I feel bad about that. I'll go ahead and do a code on that, and most of the time just one round. And then when I bring it back, one, it's hard to bring up the picture. I consciously have the memory that that thing happened, but there's no energy attached to it. It's just facts. And it's a beautiful way to relieve stress and anxiety in your life and to heal your body. These memory, the energies there are very low frequency energy, and they will affect lots of health problems. As you read the book, people tell stories about being healed from chronic depression, from Lou Gehrig's disease, amongst several other things. There's several testimonials in there. It's amazing just by doing this as a standalone healing modality, the healing that can take place. However, what we're working on is the memories, and there's a lot more information in the book. That's what I have for you. This may sound crazy. I challenge you to do it, and I'd love to hear back from you if that works. If you do it and you don't feel like you're doing it right, you know what? That's an opportunity. Once again, go to our website, click on the www.allthingspossible.biz. Click on the Contact Us button and shoot me an email to bill@allthingspossible.biz. And I would love to set up a session with you. I'll do a free strategy session, about 20 minutes, and we'll talk about what's going on in your life and maybe how I can help you, and we can do a little bit of energy work right then and there on the phone and see if you would like to continue, give you like a little bit of a free taste of what it might be like to work with me. It does not have to be in person. I enjoy working with people in person. I can do Skype, FaceTime, Google Hangouts, or even over the telephone. Smoke signals, not so much, but just about any other form of communication. Very effective to do these types of healings from a very long distance away. They are just as effective. So that's the information I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you will try this. Really, really try it. I don't care how corny it sounds. I've seen miracles. Absolute miracles take place. Change people's lives. I could give you testimonial after testimonial just to the people that I've used with my clients as I've taught them this process. Use it for you. Heal your life. Make the world a brighter place. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.